Alright, this video is about the situation last night. I've been sleeping in my car for about, well, I can't call it sleep, and I haven't gotten any sleep in there. And the stuff we need to get done during the day, well, obviously I need to be conscious for that. So then I don't get any sleep because I'm overwhelmed because I need to get this stuff done. So I end up passing out, and then nothing gets done. Of course, nothing gets done before I'm passed out because I'm just completely exhausted. So last night I had to go to the hospital. The cold was driving me nuts. I mean, it gave me a really bad pressure headache, and I recorded it, of course, as always, best I can anyway. The people who were there, obviously it was not a Regional West hospital. Those of you who know anything about Regional West, they're buying up all the little small town hospitals. And I am trying to find a piece of paper to show. The problem with Regional West is that they don't treat you very good. They are very, very police heavy. As in, if the police say it, it must be true. Scottsbluff Hospital is a Regional West. Garden County Hospital is a Regional West hospital as well. So is the one in South Dakota. So is the one in Longmont. In Longmont, the cops tried telling, well, the cops that were there anyway, one of them being Amanda Jonas, told the hospital that I was schizophrenic. I was trying to turn in another officer at the time. What they did was entirely immoral and entirely illegal, but the problem is there was nobody there with me. See, none of my friends really gave a shit what people were doing to me. They didn't care. They were too busy doing fucking drugs. They were too busy getting drunk. Now, obviously, I am an at-risk adult. Anybody can do anything to me at any time and say he's mentally ill. Like, situation with Brett Roloff. Between taking responsibility for his drug use and how it affects those around him, and the fact that he didn't keep his word because of those drugs, that it was a very volatile environment, yes, that's going to scare anybody there. That is going to make it very uncomfortable to be there. I had several meltdowns at Brett's. I only had one meltdown at Shannon Alvarado's, but they were over the same thing. Volatility. Constant screaming. Now, don't get me wrong, Shannon Alvarado was not constantly screaming during the day. It was 6 o'clock, 6:30, she'd get that first taste of wine in her. Here's my paperwork here. Lady that I've been told to get a hold of, her name is Barb Ostrom, or Social Services Tomorrow, and they gave me the number for it. It says, continue to take one Tylenol or more for headache, make appointment with PCP for continuing care. That's personal care provider, by the way. And then go to the Horseshoe Creek Inn. It's not the Horseshoe Creek Inn. The doctor there, his name is Dr. Zeiler, Z-E-I-L-E-R. When I got there, obviously my head felt like it was going to explode, my knee felt like it was going to explode, and my back is still killing me. That's part of the thing with trying to sleep in a vehicle, and when you got a screwed up back, it doesn't help. So I ended up with a pretty bad pressure headache. Dr. Zeiler is new to the hospital. I was asking them if they might be able to flush my ear, because I got a lot of pressure like inside of my ear canal, but also I got a lot of pain that goes like right along the side of my head, and that's been there since I was in Virginia. Now my Virginia paperwork, I have it as well. I post a lot of this stuff on the internet because there's too much. There's just way too much. Now obviously the situation with all of these hospitals is this shows that I was telling the truth. Anyway, I got there, and of course I called them from the parking lot over at Walmart, and I let them know that I was on my way. The phone, when I looked it up, it said to check the hospital for COVID restrictions before showing up, so I called them first. I didn't want to get a big old expensive hospital bill. I was able to drive myself at least to the hospital. If I had waited another 30 minutes, I wouldn't have been able to, though. Now, the two nurses that I spoke with were Elisa and Kaylee, and they were both very kind, very respectful. I explained to everybody there I have Tourette syndrome, so if I wink at you, it's nothing personal. I'm not hitting on you. And that's my basic disclaimer everywhere. I have Tourette's. Please don't don't hate me if I wink at you. So they took my vitals, and the doctor came in and he was asking me about my issues, and he also it's alright, and I'll be honest with me, if you just need a place to stay, well, I do need a place to stay. Obviously the weather's killing me, and you know, he treated me like a person. They listened to what I had to say. Obviously it was an emergency room visit, and he was an emergency room physician, so they wanted me to hook up with my primary care provider, and that, I guess, should be Angie Robb, but she is a physician's assistant. She used to work for Dr. Matthews. And of course the lady here they want me to talk to, her name is Barb Ostrom, and she does not come highly recommended at all. She's one of the first names I heard when I got here. Now that doesn't mean that I will have the same experience, so what I'm going to do is try to get that taken care of. They wanted to give me something heavier as far as painkillers go. I let them give me Tylenol. Really what I needed was to warm up and not be cramped up in that vehicle and not be completely by myself. I'm easy to victimize when I'm alone. So that's one of the issues with the Cirrus House. It says advocacy, employment, housing, and education. The first one on there is advocacy. How can they advocate for me if they're not looking at the evidence and they're not advocating? They're not going to court with me. Now all these people who are sick, the courts don't give a shit. I mean, they'll postpone it if one of their people is sick, but of course there's all these people who are sick. Lisa Green, she's sick, so she was gonna send me to her boss, who has not contacted me either. So I'm basically just waiting. All that stuff that I sent to him, all that evidence of abuse, and it's going absolutely nowhere because everybody's sick. Why is it everybody's sick? We're on fucking vacation. That's the thing with Amanda Jonas. when she was supposed to, they claimed that she was supposed to investigate this. This is the person they assigned to investigate the situation in Colorado. She wasn't interested in fucking investigating. She went on fucking vacation, literally the day that they told me she was assigned. So I had to wait for her to get off of vacation. And of course, I needed someone there with me so that I wouldn't get railroaded. And guess what? Miss Peaches, aka Kayla Trujillo, who said that she would, didn't. That's the issue with high-functioning autism. It is high-functioning, yes, absolutely, but it's also a communication issue. The more anxiety I have, the worse my communication is. I need someone there in person, and it needs to be somebody who's not a coward, who is informed. Meanwhile, how do you get somebody informed on all of this? I mean, obviously, I need help with all of it. I need help with the computer stuff. I need someone to teach me how to do the computer stuff. And, well, like the situation in California, Rick McCormick was going to